Bowls 101. Today I'm going to talk about how to throw a simple bowl, like an ice cream bowl or maybe a cereal bowl. This is for beginners, people who maybe haven't thrown anything at all yet, so this is a really easy one to make. Before I even begin, I'm going to make sure that my ball of clay is nice and round and any little folds or wrinkles are smoothed out. That will help prevent me trapping air between the ball of clay and the wheel head. And then when I put it down, I'm going to put it on the wheel head with a good thump. That'll stick it down. If it's not stuck down well, it can just go flying off as soon as you start throwing. I'm going to position myself so that I'm close enough to the wheel that when my upper arm is braced against my torso, the heel of my hand can land right there at the 6 o'clock position. Cup my hand around the ball of clay. Get the wheel spinning. Then my right hand is going to hold the sponge full of water loosely and rest on top of the ball of clay. For centering, the wheel is spinning relatively quickly, but you never need to make the wheel spin as fast as it can spin. If it doesn't come on center just from holding that position, I'm going to try wheel wedging. Wheel wedging is bringing the clay up tall and narrow and then pushing it back down low and flat. So to turn the ball of clay inside out. Let me lean forward to put pressure on the side. I'm staying in the centering position, but I'm not really pressing with my right hand. It's just kind of resting there and keeping things even. Squeeze the sponge when I need water. When the hump of clay is about as tall as the base of my thumb, I'm going to start pressing downward instead. That'll cause the ball to get lower and wider. Usually when I go back and forth like that a couple of times, that will bring it on center. And I think it's there now. You'll know when it's on center because you won't feel that flat tire rhythm anymore when the wheel is turning. So after centering, we need to open the ball of clay. Opening is just cupping my hands around, touching my thumbs together, and pressing them down into the center. Then I'm going to bring my thumbs upwards and outwards towards my hands to make sort of a bowl-shaped depression on the inside. The next step is pulling up the wall, and pulling up the wall is what really determines what shape the bowl is going to be. But for beginners, we're just going to concentrate on getting the walls vertical, hopefully not too off center, and not collapsing. I'm going to start with my left fingers in the middle. My right fingers are going to start out here right against the wheel head. I'm going to drag my left hand outward, put some pressure between my hands, and drag them up the wall. And I see I have an air bubble. We'll deal with that in a little bit. And relax as I approach the rim. Clean the slurry off my hands. And let's pull again. Fingers in the middle, right fingers right against the bat. Put pressure between my hands and drag them up the wall. Usually I want to aim for, about 3 pulls. It usually takes at least that many to get the wall as thin as I want it to be. There's nothing wrong with doing 4 pulls, 5 pulls, but the longer the clay is on the wheel, the more water it's absorbing. And the more water it's absorbing, the weaker it's going to be. So sometimes it can collapse just from absorbing too much water, even if you don't do anything wrong. So 3 pulls, 4 that I forgot, I lost count. And now I'm going to use my ribs to clean up the bottom a little bit and to shape the piece a little more. I'm going to use the wooden rib, lay the long flat side on the wheel head, bevel the bottom edge, slow down a little bit for this next bit. Use the long straight side to scrape the slurry clay off the bowl. That's that wet goop that accumulates from throwing. And just to make it a bit smoother, I'm going to switch to my metal rib. The metal rib is nice because I can hold my thumb on one side and use my 4 fingers on the other to make it match the curve of the wall. So it can leave a very smooth surface in its wake. there's my ice cream bowl. It looks big for ice cream, but it'll shrink. It'll shrink about 15% in the kiln. To cut it off the wheel, I'm going to slow down a bit more. Use the wire between two fists and stick out two fingers. I wrap the wire around those two fingers until the piece in the middle is just a little bit wider than the bowl. Push my thumbs against the wire and then against the wheel head and drag towards me to cut the bowl loose. I want clean, dry hands, or, relatively clean. Stop the wheel. I'm going to cup my hands around the bowl with my pinkies right against the wheel head and my fingers overlapping a bit and peel towards me. That will break the suction. Then get one hand underneath and support on the other side. And there's my bowl.